Good morning, Marietta. Today it's my pleasure to introduce Tom Browning. He's a lawyer here in town, lives and works on the square, but he's more importantly, he's chairman of our Downtown Marietta Development Authority. In a way, a lot of people don't realize how important the DMDA is to our city, and I'd just like to give Tom an opportunity to brag on his organization, what it does, what it has done for, I guess, the last 40 or 50 years, and how it's made our square one of the best squares around, both for, housing our Cobb County government, our court system, and some great merchants that do our, and churches that live within the DMDA. So, Tom, will you just tell us a little bit about the DMDA?
Yes. So back in the 70s, when probably a lot of the downtown businesses were disappearing because you had shopping centers growing up. You had Cobb Center, and then you had down at Galleria, and so downtown was kind of going south. So the city, they had a great vision. They set up this procedure where it was going to be a downtown development authority to help develop downtown Marietta because we were having problems. And what it originally did, it provided low-cost loans for people to go in and fix up properties just in the downtown area. So if you looked at the square, if you looked at I tell people, go to the fountain, and if you can hit a Babe Ruth home run in every direction, that's the size of the Downtown Development Authority. So the city and the legislature, looking down the road, they were visionaries, and they set up this authority through the legislature. So it's the only one in the state. It was mimicked later by the legislature, where they saw what we had done, what the city had done, and the legislature delegation had done, and they set up a general statute so that there could be downtown development authorities all through the state to do the same thing we did. And so we went from, say, for example, restaurants. Back at that time, there were probably 2, maybe 3 places to eat on the square. Today, there are 30 independent, freestanding restaurants in the downtown development area, and there's about 35 retail establishments. So everything has been revised, everything has grown, and of course the city government is here, the county government is here, and with those 2 government entities, we are now basically the political, and I say cultural, and cuisine capital of the state and of certainly the county. So we've got multiple art museums. We've got so many different restaurants that you can go to any type of cuisine you want, and we have it right here. Interestingly, people love eating out on tables out in front of the restaurants. And so if you go around, I counted them, there are 201 tables outside on the sidewalks to eat in downtown Marietta, and 33 park benches. So through all this, the Downtown Development Authority has assisted businesses being renovated through the loans we had. And of course, in the meantime, after businesses were renovated and improved, and they started moving back into downtown Marietta, through the authority and the city, we have a great partnership. It's a good marriage. Almost every weekend, something is going on at the square. We have concerts for 7 months of the year. We have different functions. Sometimes it's art function. Sometimes it's Taste of Marietta. Sometimes it's other items. We have Juneteenth as one weekend. So every weekend something is going on in the square. So I mean, this is a bustling place. I told people, if you go on Friday nights on the square in Marietta, you think you're in Times Square in New York. And I tell people this, there's probably no other place around where you have 30 nice restaurants that you can go to within 2 or 3 blocks. So it has become a place that is a destination for people to come to. On top of that, it's really safe. There's no problems in downtown Marietta. People come here because they say it's safe to come here. We don't have any problems. Through the mayor, oddly enough, he's been very instrumental in working with downtown Marietta because he's on the authority. And every Friday and Thursday and Saturday night, a police car is parked on the square. So that's just kind of like a safety valve, but we have no problems up here. People feel like they can come to downtown Marietta. We've got the park. There's a second park right off the historic walk, Atherton Square. I mean, this is a place to come to where in the 70s it was kind of dying, and now it is the gem of all downtown areas that have a downtown development authority throughout the state. When I went to the meetings, when they have annual meeting, and everybody's talking about, I wish I could have this, I wish I could have that, we don't have this, and we sit there and think, we got every bit of that. We got all the things that they're wishing that they had, that they could accomplish. It's been accomplished through the Downtown Development Authority, and again, this is a great marriage with the city and the business people. Now, the authority is composed of 3 members of the authority are business owners, and 3 members of the authority are property owners, and then the county commissioner and the mayor are always a member of the authority. So it's a great mechanism that was created by some visionaries back in the 70s, and it's the place to come to if you're in north of Atlanta. If you want to get outside 285, downtown Marietta is the place.
I'd like to point out, in time, just to thank you for what the DMDA does for the city. The DMDA does tax. I mean, that the merchants and the business properties on the square pay their way, and you could see it. I think they can tax up to 5 mil, but I think in the last 8 years they've decreased the millage each year. So they've been good stewards of our money. But when you look around the square and you look at how wonderful July the 4th parade, right at Christmas time, the DMDA has been very benevolent. They buy it and the city puts it up. It's a beautiful partnership, and we've gone just beyond the 3 or 4 northeast, southwest of the square, out Roswell Street, out Church, and it just makes Marietta a better place because we have such a good partner in the DMDA, and not only are the good citizens that have good input, they help city fund something they could not fund, that we could not fund ourselves. And we just, it's been an amazing relationship. You know, part of what their task goes for sponsorships, you know, for icons like the Strand, the Museum of History. In fact, they're the landlord for the Marietta Museum of History at a very favorable price. You know, so what they invest in this square every day, besides all the many other things they do, the DMDA is a partner that Marietta could not live without. And Tom, we thank you for what the DMDA is, and I enjoy serving on the board because we even had our county commissioner said she wished her meetings ran as smooth as the way they run. Because people are there for one purpose, to make the Marietta Square better. And it shows in the way it operates and the results. Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, just to close up on that is that the sponsorships that the DMDA does, for example, Oktoberfest, some of the weekend festivals, the concerts, and I'll mention the Strand. The Strand, we do sponsorships with the Strand. They have something going on every single weekend. And when they come before us about their sponsorships, they'll tell us, we are booked up for the next 8 months, 10 months ahead. So it's a very vital part of downtown Marietta because people are coming to the Strand. They're coming there for concerts. They're coming there for have silent movies. There's something there almost every single weekend. So, and that's part of what we're able to do through the sponsorships that the DMDA has. And you mentioned the Marietta Museum of History. So before I was on the board, that building became available, and I think this was through Joe Mack Wilson's insight. He said, let's buy that building. So we have bought what was the Kennesaw House, and that is now the Museum of History. And so that's a great enterprise for downtown Marietta.
And also would like to point out, we had mentioned another great asset. If it weren't for the DMDA, we would not have the farmers market.
That's right.
Their support, getting the others, but speaking of the mayor part, it just shows when governments cooperate, what happens. I mean, I went with Mr. Browning, we met with the governor's staff and asked to buy the old parking lot from the old railroad. And not only did they sell that parking lot to the DMDA, we also got the old railroad station. But it was because when the people most involved wanted it, good things happened. So there's just a lot of, when governments are fighting each other and they're working together, the results is the Marietta Square.
So I think this is a great insight into the mayor's thinking, looking down the road. So when we were working with the state to be able to buy the DMDA parking lot, that was considered a surplus piece of property that the state had, and that was originally part of the railroad that went from Atlanta to Chattanooga. I think it was the Atlanta and Western Railroad, and so they had that property. And so when we were working on that, then Thunder says, well, maybe we can get the depot too. So anyway, so the state sold the depot to the city, and the DMDA, they sold the parking area for the downtown parking to the DMDA.
And that will reap us benefits for years.
Yep, it will.
Well, Tom, again, thank you for this brief insight into DMDA. Those of you that are listening today, when you drive through the square, know it took a lot of effort to make our square as great as it is and the wonderful, vibrant downtown we have. Tom, thank you to the DMDA.
My pleasure, and thank you for being part of that too.